What made you finally stand up to your parents? My parents had been promising me for 18 years that they were saving money for my college. They called it the future jar, and every time Dad worked overtime or Mom picked up extra shifts at the hospital, they'd talk about how they were building me a better life. When I was 8, I asked if I could have $5 for a school fundraiser. Mom said, "Sorry, babe, that money's going to your college fund." When I wanted to go on a class trip to the zoo in 6th grade, Dad shook his head and pointed to this old mason jar on the kitchen counter. "Every dollar counts for your education," he said. By senior year, I was accepted to State University. It was 3 hours away, perfect distance from home, and had the engineering program I wanted. I'd gotten some scholarships and worked part-time at the movie theater, but I still needed around $40,000 to cover everything. The night before I had to confirm enrollment, I sat at our kitchen table with my parents and my laptop open to the tuition calculator. "Okay, so with my scholarships and savings, I need about $42,000, I said, looking at them expectantly. Mom and Dad exchanged this weird look. Dad scratched his beard and Mom started fidgeting with her coffee mug. "Well, honey," Mom finally said, not making eye contact. "The thing is, we had some unexpected expenses." My stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" "We had to use some of the college money," Dad said, shrugging like it was no big deal. "You can just take out student loans? Everyone does it." I stared at them. "Some of it? How much is left?" Another weird look between them. Mom cleared her throat. "Well, actually, we used all of it." The room went completely silent except for the hum of our old refrigerator. "All of it? We bought the boat last summer, remember? And we redid the kitchen 2 years ago. Plus that amazing trip to Europe we took as a family last year," Mom said, getting excited like she was reliving the vacation. I remembered that trip. 3 weeks touring Italy and France. They kept saying it was a once-in-a-lifetime family experience, and that we deserved it after Dad got promoted. I also remembered the brand new fishing boat sitting in our driveway that Dad bought because he always wanted one. "You spent my college fund on a boat?" My voice cracked. "It's not like that," Dad said, getting defensive. "We're a family. We make decisions together. Besides, you're smart. You'll figure it out." I looked at the mason jar on the counter. It had maybe $10 in loose change. 18 years of your college fund, and this is what was left. Every time I wanted something growing up, you said no because of my college fund. I didn't go to prom because the dress was too expensive. I worked every weekend instead of hanging out with friends. I turned down the senior class trip to save money. "And look how responsible you turned out," Mom said, like she was proud. Something snapped inside me. "You know what? I'm not going." They both froze. "What do you mean you're not going?" Dad asked. "I mean, I'm not taking out $40,000 in loans while you two relax on your boat every weekend." I closed my laptop and stood up. "You're being ridiculous," Mom said. "It's just money. You'll pay it back eventually." "It's not just money. It's 18 years of promises. It's every sacrifice I made thinking you had my back." Dad's face was getting red. "We raised you and put a roof over your head. You're being ungrateful." "Ungrateful?" I laughed, but it wasn't funny. "You spent my future on vacation photos and a boat you used twice a month." I walked to my room and slammed the door. They kept knocking, saying I was throwing my life away, that I was being dramatic, but I was done listening. The next morning I called the university and declined enrollment. Then I walked to Main Street Bakery and asked if they were hiring. The owner, this nice lady named Beth, hired me on the spot to work the morning shift. For the next 6 months, my parents kept trying to convince me to stop being stubborn and just take out loans. Dad would make comments about how I was wasting my potential every time he saw me in my work uniform. Mom kept leaving college brochures on my desk. But every 2 weeks when I deposited my paycheck into my own savings account, I felt proud. I was building something real, something nobody could spend on kitchen tiles or European hotels. 6 months after high school graduation, I moved out, found a tiny apartment with 2 roommates, kept working mornings at the bakery, and started tutoring kids in math at night. My parents called me ungrateful, said I was destroying my future out of spite.